Hey guys, today's video is a long time coming. My baby is asleep right now. He's taking a nap on the bed, and I am such a tired mommy. I should totally be napping. I'm the kind of tired where my eyes are burning, but I feel like I need to honor this call within myself to do something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time and not just keep sitting on the when I'm more rested, when it's less crazy, when you feel inspired, when the time is right, because the reality is I've felt called to do this. I've felt inspired to do it. Circumstances have just made it hard, and that is probably just a reflection of my own resistance to sitting down and doing the thing that will likely change my life. So here's to long form content and doing the hard thing, whether you feel ready to do it or not. I have been in what I guess you could call like emotional turmoil for a while. I mean, really, I feel like I've been going through a very long, dark night of the soul process with a lot of light kind of trickled in there. But the one thing that I feel like I haven't felt in so long is myself. Like my true essence and energy, I don't feel is coming across in anything I'm doing. I feel like myself and my life has just been wrapped in scarcity, and I'm ready to liberate myself and no longer be experiencing that. I'm ready to call forward every part of me that is scared to be seen, the worthiness that I'm scared to say I have or own, my lack of like confidence or issues with self-esteem, me feeling like I'm not important, my past traumas, like whatever the fuck it is. I think that being a mom just makes you call forward this radical self like destruction so that you can like look at everything, build a better foundation, and build from there as the most powerful and strong woman that you could possibly be. And it makes me emotional to even think about it. I don't want my son to grow up with a mom who doesn't feel powerful. And unfortunately, that's how I felt for way too much of my life. And I'm hoping that this diary is a commitment to myself to change that for once and for all and never go back and make it a daily practice. I think that I've had this weird, like, I want to call it like body dysmorphia, but it's almost like a spiritual dysmorphic relationship to like yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your body, the things that are happening to you. I'm not sure if you've ever been through this, but it's kind of like, you know, you're pretty, but like, do you feel it? You know, you're powerful, but do you feel that power? And a great example of this is that I devoted myself to health and wellness for almost a decade. It was around 8 years that I was fully devoted down the fucking rabbit hole, everything you could think of, and basically became a trained and practicing herbalist, holistic nutritionist, someone who can like intuitively download a cleanse that can solve SIBO and gut, like all gut issues, autoimmune diseases, things that some of the most medically trained doctors are writing about. I could just go to sleep and wake up with this idea of how to eat to get XYZ and heal your body. And so I know that's my gift. I know that I'm so powerful in that space. And I got pregnant, had an absolutely flawless pregnancy. Nothing wrong with my baby, nothing wrong with me, didn't even end up anemic for someone who was eating vegan at the time. Is mind-blowing, right? And I bring this child into this world and I have no complications in labor. I labored in this fucking room. I gave birth in this room, and yet I never felt powerful. That there's a dissonance going on. There is some disconnection where the truth is a facet we hold in one hand of our life, and the embodiment and emotions and the feeling of resonance within that truth are separate from that. And the only thing that I can come to is a long-standing experience of, oh, we have a bug friend outside, a long-standing experience of societal pressures and things that we've been programmed and conditioned to believe that then separate us so much from ourselves. Landing women like me who are young. I'm 27, I think. I've lost myself so much in motherhood. I don't even know how old I am. I think I'm 27. That we feel nothing for ourselves. We feel nothing about what we're doing with our lives. We feel nothing of accomplishment, of grace, of power, of strength, of resilience, and we can know that we are. Like XYZ happened, I got through this, that, and the other. I'm strong. I know that anyone who can labor at home with no medication is strong. I fucking did it. It was very painful. But do I feel the power and the primal resilience that is the goddess that I am? No. And I don't know how we close the gap, but I'm hoping that videos like this and me sitting in with my thoughts and my heart and my feelings are the beginning of me closing that gap. Oh, I like this. I like the idea of closing the gap. So back when I was living in California, when I was midway pregnant, I think I was 7 or 8 months pregnant. I was working on this program called Overnight Entrepreneur. Any of you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably already saw this. I launched the program, but I got this whole download from Spirit. Spirit wanted me to go on this journey a while ago, and I closed the page. I received the download of the name Becoming Her, and it was all about how I would change this otherwise masculine business program, entrepreneurship program I was writing, into a feminine code book where you could get all the divine feminine energy codes, be a vibrational match to everything you want, essentially become her, whoever her is for you. And I find it so funny, and it's such a punch in the gut that one of my favorite women in the space, in the wellness, manifestation, coaching, trauma space, she ended up releasing a program 4 or 5 months later called Becoming Her. And she's also pregnant now. And now all I'm seeing all over Lemonade and TikTok and Instagram is all of these Becoming Her for 2025. And I'm like, wow, I have access to these codes before they go and filter out into the masses of people, because I'm a leader and archetypally I'm meant to carry that torch and walk people through this essence and becoming. And yet I close the book on myself because I don't know how it will come to form, because I don't feel the feelings. And I can't say that I wish I didn't, because I wouldn't be here in this moment. And I know that my even larger grand awakening is upon me, and I know that everything happens for a reason, and the breakthrough will be even more powerful now than it would have been before. But it is painful to know that you doubt yourself and then you see other people create what it is that you want to do just because you feel small. And I think that, I hope I'm not the only person going through this. I know it's kind of miserable, so I'm not trying to hope that you guys are in pain or anything, but wow, what a pretty bird. Excuse me, energy moving through my throat on that one. Thank you for clearing the air, Mr. Pelican. This feeling of smallness, it is washed over every aspect of my life. And I don't know why. I sit there and I question myself every day. I'm like, is it because I'm not dancing anymore? And dancing is what gave me that femininity. I have this crisis once every month or however often where I'm like, I failed as a woman. I have not embodied the sacred, fiery, explosive feminine who's sexy and a goddess and transformative, and she transmutes everything, and she's so fluid and creative and artsy and in the vortex. Like, I feel like I've failed myself and society as a woman for not being so eccentric. And I think that there are so many layers to this feeling like the feminine in you has died. And we've been told that being feminine is surrendering. But I followed that path for like 3 years, and it didn't end with me feeling more feminine. It left with me feeling powerless. And I realized that there are so many other archetypes within femininity that don't require your surrender. They require you opening to life and still showing up with this primitive assertiveness, this definitiveness, this knowing, this sacred wisdom, this intuitive approach to everything, this fire, this passion, this willingness to not conform. And this is to say that there have been a bunch of mini deaths along the way. And if you've read anything about ancient practices in yoga, or just like life, death, life cycles of the natural cosmic laws of nature, that is the way the world works. We are repurposed through the death of variations of ourself, and we come back better and stronger, and we're able to plant new seeds in that process that then grow into more evolved, expansive versions of who we are meant to embody during this journey. But the point that I'm getting to is I've had such a hard time like pinpointing, like, okay, this is what caused me to feel the death of my feminine. This is what makes me not feel like myself or sexy or powerful in my body. I don't understand what caused it, but I don't think that it's one thing. And I feel like I'm not seeing anybody talking about this. I went through a major shift in who I am in my own personal life and career when I was like doing makeup, and I was like that it girl who was so stunning and picture perfect when she had her makeup on. And as soon as I stopped wearing makeup and all the fancy outfits and the heels and whatever, life wasn't about looking perfect all the time, but I still felt so beautiful. I think I was still carrying like that essence from my life before with me. And I'm not talking about a past life, I'm literally talking about this one, but it is a whole nother life for me because I don't recognize that woman at all. And I so don't align with like the things that she did, the way she lived her life. And while I hold space for her and she's always a part of me, I don't like recognize her in me anymore. Like, I just could never live that way again, is essentially what I'm getting to. And basically, I feel like now, I don't know if it stems from like lack of embodying my feminine energy, because I want to say no. I don't feel like I've been hyper masculine the way I was before, but I find it so interesting that I feel this way and I can't figure out why. Like, out of body, not fully in touch with me and who I am. Like, I guess it's like not feeling like a woman. And maybe I'm just not putting myself in spaces and around people that allow me to feel that womanhood. And maybe it's hard to be fully responsible for feeling that way. Maybe the men in your life and the women in your life and the spaces you're in and your job and all the things need to help you feel your womanhood and your sacred femininity. And maybe my life right now just doesn't have enough of that. But I don't know what the solution is. I just know that I am finding this odd dichotomy between like, I know that I'm these things, but I want to feel those things. And I've struggled with this in the past, like feeling fulfillment from things that I do, being super disconnected. And I think all of it stems from not being with yourself enough. And so that is fixable. As a mom, it's much harder. But I'm questioning these major things about life and what I want and where I'm supposed to go. And I think that so many other people probably are questioning them too. We're just not talking about it. I need to be able to see my baby, and there's a pillow in the way. I saw this like post from this girl the other day, and she's like probably a little younger than me. She does full-time content creation, and right now she lives in Bali, and she's single, and all she does is like content creation. Like, that's her life. She's not married, she doesn't have a partner or children. And she's like, I don't know where to go next. Like, I don't know why I can't figure out where spirit is calling me and where God wants me to go. And I saw there were like hundreds of women in the comments like, this is the shit I go through every year. I don't know what to do either. I don't know where I'm meant to be. And I was like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one who's going through this. I have internalized this thought like, oh, there's something wrong with me because I don't know where in the world I'm supposed to live. Like, I feel like as women, when we are severed from our femininity, we begin to turn an introspective lens onto ourselves and say that we are the problem and the cause form of every issue, because we naturally want to fix everything. And this is definitely going to be a lot of healing on my part, and just looking at like, why do I feel like I am the cause of the problem instead of the solution? Why do I go inward, and instead of saying it's okay that I don't know, what if it doesn't need to be that serious, I implicate these intense levels of seriousness onto myself, as if my life is so freaking important that I can't make any wrong movements, choices, decisions, anything, and that every fucking moment is microscopically so fucking profound that I'm living a pointless life when I'm not making it mean the moon and the fucking stars. I don't know if anyone else has gone through that, but I've been dealing with that level of, it's like hyper perfectionism, but life-centric, where it's like focused on living purposefully because you could die, and like, what if you don't do what you're supposed to do, and you're just wasting your time here, and like, oh, you're worthless if you don't do anything. You need to be serving people every day. You need to have profound ass shit that you think of and share with the world every fucking day to change the world. Otherwise, you're just not utilizing your existence. Like, I put so much pressure on myself, and just hearing myself say it is the first time that I'm willing to admit that I'm inadvertently putting pressure on myself for things that are not necessary. And if you've seen me over the years and you felt like, oh, Stephanie's not really like doing anything, or she's not like making any progress, this is exactly why. I have single-handedly, unintentionally thwarted my own progress by being trapped in not only scarcity and lack of worthiness, but perfectionism disguised as devotion to a purposeful life. Oh, energy moving out of my throat on that one. I feel like I've spent a lot of time feeling really lost and wishing I could live a different life, a better life, something that was more sparkly and fun and inspiring. And I feel like I let myself down and other people down because I failed so many times in a row, and that luxurious life that I was building, I lost it. I lost my financial stability. I lost stability in my business, in my career. I lost stability in my relationships. I lost stability in where I was living. I feel sad, like I wasted years of my precious young life, and I almost feel guilty and like shameful about it, even though I didn't do it on purpose. I was just doing the best that I could with what I had. But I think that I have a really hard time accepting when things aren't perfect. And I think maybe that stems from like all the bullying I went through and feeling like I have to make my life purposeful, because then it means that I'm worthy of being alive. And I lately, since having my baby, have been really trying to practice feeling worthy, even if all I'm doing is taking care of him every day and feeding him, even if I don't do anything specifically valuable. But it's really hard because I feel like I'm always craving more. I think that's built into my design. I think that that's a part of me being a leader and what I'm meant to step into. But I definitely think there are a lot of layers that are really hard to cope with as you reach the age that I'm at, where you're midway through your 20s, you're at the second half of your 20s, approaching 30, and you're kind of like, wow, I didn't do everything I thought I was capable of, and life went in a different direction, and accepting that is hard. And I think girls aren't given enough space to feel sad when their life doesn't go in the right direction that they desired, because it's still a competitive world, it's still a masculine driven world. We have to, show up, offer value, take care of ourselves, and climb the ladder and be competitive in a masculine patriarchal society. And I think that I've latched on so tightly to, like, if I do things that are idealized as successful, my name will mean something. And I just wanted to be on an even playing field with like all the men of the world. I think that comes with being a woman who's very beautiful and has been objectified their whole life. You want to mean more than the way you look, and maybe that is actually where I think a lot of the out of body dysmorphic situation comes from for me, is like I no longer confidently embrace that version of myself. I don't feel sexy. I don't let myself really go there and play and explore in my femininity, because I feel that it's tainted by these experiences with men, the way that men will react to me. And so it feels really foreign to play in my feminine energy, because I grew up thinking that when you play with your feminine energy, it is for the male gaze, and it is for men to feel satisfied and approve of what you're doing. And I even heard another woman recently say that she wasn't sure if her relationships with men intimately and sexually were because she wanted to, or because she enjoyed feeling the satisfaction of knowing she was performing well. And that really spoke to me, because I feel like we are taught that we perform for men, we deliver for men, we create satisfaction for them, we're supposed to look beautiful, good, sexy, and embody this goddess energy for men. And I think that it has really tainted the way I show up in the world in my feminine, because I feel like I need to have accolades to then be respected, and have a safe enough playing field to then play in my feminine energy and my sexuality without it being something that people can destroy me over, or say that that's all she does and that's all she is. It pains me to have such a warped perception of the feminine, because I wouldn't have it any other way. I can't imagine not being a woman in this lifetime, but I thought that I was in a different space with my healing journey, but that's the reality, is that it never ends. And I am devoted to the process of figuring out where these things come from and how to heal them and how to liberate myself and be the most embodied, most free, most in her body woman that enjoys her life and feels love through every aspect of her being, every step and breath that she takes, every moment she spends with her children, every creative venture she does. I don't just want to inspire other people. I want to be inspired by myself and not have this dissonance between like, who are you? What are you feeling? What's yours? What's not? This is who I am. This is where I'm going. This is how I'm guided. I trust myself. I'm made of love. I want to re-embody those things that have always resonated with me so deeply. And I think that when we create space and when we move other stuff out of the way that's been just on our heart, we're then able to. So thank you for sitting down with me and listening to this more long form content. If any of it resonated with you, or if you're in the same boat with certain things, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm creating a very small scale, low cost monthly membership for women to get together to just talk and connect on different topics. You'll find motherhood, sisterhood, wellness, like anti-vax, everything you can think of, like rabbit hole shit, spirituality, everything, astrology, all of it is in there. And I would love to have you. That link is going to be below. You can join the community there. Away we go. Let's see where this lands. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you for holding space for me